first things first, I'm gonna go through my little spill and every time, and we'll go ahead and we'll do that and go from there. But I've been in mobile IV therapy since 2021. I really did build 3 companies back to back to back. I got recruited out to Arizona. We went from a good, cool 1.8 million all the way up to about 9, 10 million in sales. And when you're doing 10 million in sales, you have 200 nurses working for you. You're doing 60 to 70 appointments a day. And I'm talking mobile IV appointments. Like I'm talking going, and we're going to use Arizona, for instance, because this is where I live. We're going from Litchfield Park to Goodyear. You're going from Phoenix to Scottsdale, Scottsdale to Tucson, Tucson to Flagstaff, back and forth, just kind of zooming around everywhere. So you can only imagine the type of volume that we're doing. And the nurses that are running, and this is the exciting part, is they're making good money. I see nurses, and in the state of Arizona, you're able to do paramedics. So you're seeing these nurses and paramedics make, man, I mean, they're making anywhere from 8,000 up to 19,000 every 2 weeks. And it's a really cool thing to see. Then 2022 to 2024, I did another company in 13 months. We did 2.1 million in sales. And then ultimately 9 months ago to now, we did another company on while on its way to 4 million. So, it's just, I don't know who waved the magic wand for me. I just understand this field very well. I understand the structure. I understand what we need to do to accomplish it, and I have repeated it over and over and over again. This isn't my first gig. I actually have a marketing agency where nobody here is ready to go with yet. But I have a marketing agency that we would deal with operators that we have built from the ground up. Like we help them with dispatch, hiring nurses, placing them in, doing everything, and to my surprise, it's doing quite well. I always knew it would do well. It's just I had to see it for myself. So not only have I done this 3 times, I have done this probably another 40 times with everybody else throughout the United States. I mean, whatever state you're in, I would love to know down the road so we can kind of see where everything is. And just so I can go ahead and pinpoint, like, hey, is it a good market? Is it not a good market? And all that good stuff. But um with that being said, that's kind of my spill on how I became into this realm. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's kind of jump right into it real quick. Classroom side, if you guys are just starting, and again, 10 minute spill here, and then I'm going to leave the floor open to you guys so you guys can go with it. Um, when you're starting, obviously take everything I say with a grain of salt. I don't, I made this very articulate and very just together so you guys actually know what's going on and what I'm doing. But also check with me. I don't really contradict myself, but I like to put everything together so you kind of know. But, a 90-day launch plan, I can launch in 45 days. I can launch in 60 days. It just kind of depends on how fast you want to do it. So I don't want to necessarily you know, take everything like, oh, well, he said in 120 days we can do this. No, we can go fast, we can go slow. It just depends. Again, I wanted to put all my thoughts and all my knowledge in here. And I would say 90% of it is me. The other 10% is AI formatting it to make sure I don't sound like an idiot because I can be all over the place sometimes. Um, but yeah, 90% of it is me. Again, everything grain of salt. I wouldn't, here's your launch map here, what you're going for. Here are your modules. You start right here and then you kind of just go into it, super simple, what it is, what this course is, how you can do it. And you basically go on from there. It's really cookie clutter clear. And again, if you guys have any questions, even though we're not supposed to, it doesn't matter. Anyone that's a premium member right now, message me. I'm gonna get back to you. I'm gonna drop a phone number. You can text me. I know there's another service that just came online for it's like $1,000 a month. Don't worry about that. Like, don't even touch that. Worry about the phone number. You can text me. I'll get back in touch with you if you have any questions moving forward. Like I said, no doubt in my mind, the first 25 members, I would love for them to build mobile IV companies because what you guys are going to do for me is you're going to give me stellar reviews, and I'm going to utilize, the reviews that you guys are going to give me that, oh my God, this guy really did help me for $100 a month. He got me where I need to be. I'm going to be loyal to this guy forever. That's what I'm aiming for. So whatever questions you guys have, we will put it through where it needs to be. Building out a mobile IV therapy company is not hard. I promise you. Like once you get your medical direction, once you have your stuff together, you're gonna be like, holy crap, this actually isn't that difficult. Let's see what we can, let's see about going into another state. Let's see about going into another city. But again, follow through the lesson plan on these three. And I think this is where you pretty much start. If you guys haven't got that mobile IV playbook as well, let me know at the end of this class and I'll go ahead and get that to you guys as well. But um, that's pretty much the spill on this side. What I really want to do on these Q&As, I want to go over a module really quick and then I want you guys to ask me questions. Like whatever is in your brain is going to help each other. Whatever needs to happen is going to help. And the thing is, you guys are so lucky that there's just 3 of you here right now. Before you know it, there's going to be 10. Before you know it, there's going to be 15. Before you know it, there's going to be 20. So I would definitely be, and then I'm going to have to obviously do more classes and get more stuff done. So this is the time for you guys to shine. So if you guys have any questions, feel free. I'll leave it to you.
I can start breaking your ice. Joe, again, big fan. Thank you for this. And also, I gotta give you an if I have to drop off in 20 minutes. So sorry if I don't say goodbye. But my question is, I've been looking at this for a while. My partner is actually from a medical background. She's a generalist. So we've been looking at this, and we are looking to go MSO plus PLLC route. By the way, we are based in Phoenix, Arizona as well,
Perfect.
and the plan is that we would like to basically down the road hire the contract nurses for actual administration. We don't want to do it ourselves. So my question is that how does the drug sourcing goes in this scheme like this? Like going through the 503 or 503A or B pharmacy and purchasing it and storing it. Is that responsibility of, would it be our responsibility or the nurses?
It's the nurse's responsibility. So this is the cool thing about you guys making a company. A lot of this falls on the nurses. Everything falls on the
Mhm.
nurses. So the number one thing, and this is going to be a much bigger answer because you asked something and it's going to turn into a bigger answer. 1099 nurses always. Don't go W-2. Don't do anything different on that end. 1099 always. The nurse buys the supplies. The nurse always buys the supplies. Don't put that on yourself. You're going to have a massive bill on your end when you start this company. The nurse
Mhm.
has to go ahead and purchase everything. Um, as far as supplies and companies go, I will give you guys a list after this of every supplier that we use. It would be massive for you guys when it comes to anything related to getting in the meds that you actually need to answer your questions. So, like we
Mhm.
have Apotheca, we have Stryker Pharmacy, we have Empower Olympia, we have Hemosource, we have McKesson, we have Revive Med, and that alone, you're going to be able to get everything you need. For that, when it comes to being I believe it's a 503A. Don't quote me on that. Let me like triple check on that. But regardless, everything is going to be legal and everything will run through your medical director. And once you have your medical director, you don't touch anything. It goes completely through the doc and it funnels to your nurses. The nurses get separate accounts, they order their supplies, and that's it.
Oh, okay. And I haven't really checked out all of your courses. I've started a few top ones. Do you have any courses on how to hire and what to expect when
Yep.
you're hiring these medical nurses? What type of license? Do they need insurance, liability, malpractice insurance,
Yeah.
or is that all things?
No, no, no.
Yeah.
That's something. Every week we're dropping off courses again. I've probably over the last. I mean, You guys can probably see it over the last. I would say week and a half. I haven't really slept, but we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12
Yeah.
courses that we released in about a week and a half. There's definitely more coming. I don't know if you guys have actually been able to see it. It just got re-updated on this end. Let me see if I can go ahead and actually share my screen really quick. Let's see here. So they just got re-updated with everything. Obviously I start the flow of it all. I would go through modules. Go through that first. Don't worry about anything else. It gets exciting at it. I get it. Like, get found on Google is massive. You guys are gonna have to really, dig deep on this. It's very, very important and you can beat 90% of the people because they're not going to do it. Then you're going into pricing your menu. Can you get booked for events? We show you how to do that. Getting your first clients. We go really in depth on how to actually get clients. So like I don't really know of any other courses or classes that actually show you how to do that. And then obviously now we're talking weight loss shots, GLP-1s, which I didn't really want to release, but it's just so big in this field that I was almost forced to release it, because I want to focus on mobile IV. Now we're talking a little bit more out of weight loss. We're going a little bit away from it, but it works, you know. But again, I would stay away from that till you actually have the business running, and then obviously selling NAD and then upselling every visit. This is a really good one, that I think everybody should really, you know, even if you have some time, look at it now. We're not upselling to the people. You can't do that, you know, especially like I know your service based. Susie, I don't know if you're a nurse. Mal, I don't know if you're I believe you're a nurse. If you guys are just straight business, that's completely fine. I'm straight business. I've never stuck well no, I've stuck a couple human beings with needles, you know, when I went for a quarter of nursing school, but I'm not medical one bit. I learned everything on this end, but in the medical field, it's frowned upon to upsell things to people that don't need it. You know, you just can't go that way. You just can't do it. So this upsell is around, you know, like if your stomach hurts, you know, let's do a Zofran. You know, if you're in pain or something doesn't feel right, let's do Toradol. You know, it's just something to kind of go off of that. You don't necessarily want to be like, oh, cool, let's just slam you with Zofran, Toradol, everything because we can make the most money. It's just not kind of how it rolls, and it's really frowned upon. And eventually, you'll lose the sale. They'll never work with you again. They'll never call you back. So again, these modules will come out. As far as hiring, yes, we are going to have a hiring course. We're going to specifically show you exactly how we hire nurses. We're going to show you how we vet them. We're going to show you what you need. Like I'm going to just word vomit real quick, but we're going to show you that you need ACLS, they need BLS, they need PALS, they need malpractice insurance, they need car insurance, they got to have reliable transportation. You know, you're it's going to be all dialed in into these courses. So every
Mhm.
week I plan on getting a few out. Again, it takes a lot to build them. So for right now, I think everyone's pretty happy. I have a lot of people that are in premium right now that, you know, we're I think we're up to about 15 people, but I kind of want to I wasn't kidding about shutting it down. I kind of want to shut it down at maybe 20, 25 because I get a lot of messages, and you know, before I know it, I'm gonna have 100 people in here, and you know, everyone's gonna want to, you know, want the same thing. So I'm gonna have to be kind of mindful on that. Um, but yeah, we will be throwing out courses. We will be getting out other things, and yeah, I mean, whatever. Also, you know, requesting general discussion. Throw in requests all the time in there. If you guys don't see something, throw it in there. We'll more than likely get it out. There's a lot when it comes to mobile IV therapy. So you know, my brain is only so big. I'm doing pretty much the part that's going to get us going. You know, other than that, you know, sky's the limit for all of you. But yeah, all that stuff will come out, and there are certain tools that I like to use. Like I'm going to show you guys, you know, courses on Square. Like we should only be using Square. We should only be using acuity scheduling. We should only be using intake queue for our EMR system. Like I'm really going to dissect everything and show you guys like this is what we should be doing. This is how you should be doing it. So those courses will be coming out quick, and then some cool freebies too. I have some nurse practitioners that are going to be helping us as well. I have a doctor that's going to be helping us as well. I have our HR team that's going to be helping, that's going to be doing courses. So you're going to be hearing from a real live nurse practitioner, a real live doctor, an ER physician. And so, like, it's just going to be a really good thing because you're not going to just hear it from my side, which I consider myself the expert, you know, because I operate in the field. You're going to be hearing it from medical as well. So, once you hear it from medical, I think it should be like, okay, it's legit. So,
Mhm. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you.
yep. So, yeah, with that being said, I mean, definitely go through it all, and you know, I would like to see where, you know, where you guys at in your process. You know, what you know, we can take this obviously a little bit more personal because it's just us right now, and unfortunately, you know, we're not going to have this forever. But you know, Mal, I know you work overnights. I know you're just starting. You know, Susie, we haven't really heard from you. Where are you starting right now? Like, where are you from? Like, yeah, go for it.
I think we are in my husband and me. You communicated already with my husband a little more.
That's right. That's
It's
right. Yep.
Chris, yeah. So we are originally from Germany. So and we're trying to yeah build everything from here remotely also. So it's a little bit a different situation, but we already have the company actually. So we are off to go and find a healthcare attorney, medical director. Yeah, that is actually steps 4 to 10, I think. Yeah.
And this is for Florida, right?
Yes.
Got it. Yeah. We I do have a healthcare attorney for you, and they're cheap. They're actually cheap. I will send you the info after this, or if I didn't, just remind me and send it to me. I actually have a good attorney. He's our attorney now for all the stuff that we do. You as
Perfect.
well? You as well, Mel? Okay, I'll send it to you. Yeah, I'll send it to you. I can send it to all three of you just in case you guys need it. But um, always get an attorney. That's the number one thing.
Yes.
I've I've cut corners. I'm being 100% honest with you. I have cut corners in this field, and it bites me in the butt every single time. It's just don't do it. I mean, I'm gonna give you the keys. I'm gonna show you exactly what to do, but at the end of the day, it's it really is a big pain. Like it just is. Like just pay the two. I think he's 250 an hour. Get him for 2 hours. It's gonna be the best money that you ever spent because now you feel comfortable going to sleep at night that you're running a fully operated business. And like again, I'm going to show you what it is. It's just easier to do it that way. Don't hurt yourself on anything on when it comes to that. And don't cut corners. Look into good faith exams. That's going to be another module down the road. Look into actual proper how to run the business. Like it's important. It really is. And like I said, I'm along the way. Seriously, I mean it. Take advantage right now because it probably will go away. Message, text me. You have questions, you're stuck somewhere. This is the opportunity. Like you're never gonna get another opportunity like this. I'm telling you, the classes are just gonna get bigger and bigger. And I'll try and be as most accommodating as possible. But eventually, my time runs out. We run a full fledged business. Two businesses. But something about doing this, I don't know why. I really wanted to do it. I've been wanting to do this, I think, honestly, for 2 years. And I finally just sat down and wrote everything out. And I'm still not even 50% done. Like, there's so much more that's coming. I would say there's probably at least 60 plus courses coming. And I don't really plan on raising the price or anything. Like, let's just see what we can do and go from there. It's 97 bucks. If you're serious, you're going to do it and we're gonna take care of it. Obviously, if you're not and you're just looky loo, it's 97 bucks. Not gonna break anyone. So, um, that's kind of my spill on it. But that's great. And then, I'm in. What do you? Am I saying your name correctly, or is it Eamon?
It is Iman,
Eamon.
but I've heard everything.
Yeah.
Iman, Iman.
Where, where,
That's like,
where, where are you at right now? On the, I mean, you're obviously opening up here in Phoenix, but where
yeah.
are you in your spot?
I mean, to be honest, we are mainly in a planning stage. And to be honest, when I saw this course, I jumped on it right away because I want to use it as a catalyst to just start and work on this and get this going. Um, I have had some experience with LLC creation, so I was just going to maybe start with there because your modules kind of start from there, EIN, getting your EIN, PLLC, and stuff like that. And that is why I was actually curious to know if you have any recommendation for attorney in Phoenix area. I would be interested to know what is the Florida. Yeah, definitely. Please send that to me as well. But any recommendation for Phoenix, Arizona, that would be nice
Yeah,
because I think
this
that would be one of my next steps.
yeah, this attorney's nationwide. He does all states.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Wonderful. Great.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
I'll definitely do that. And yeah, you know, definitely talk to the attorney. They're going to talk about CPOM law. Right now our mobile IV therapy company is physician owned. We're physician owned. So like I'm going to go ahead and I'll pull this up and then I want to bounce over to Mal real quick, but let me go ahead and just real quick on this end so you guys can see it. So this is the company that we run right now. Pure IV. We're physician owned. We are in obviously the areas we serve, and like this is all going to be broken down in courses as well. I'm going to show you exactly what we do. This company, Pure IV, they pay us 20,000 a month. We get $20,000 a month to make sure all their stuff is lined properly, but they're also making a ton of money. So imagine one day, and like I want everyone to dream big. It is entirely possible, and I say this with the bottom of my heart, with all my heart, with all my soul. It is possible for you to have a company like this. You just have to work at it and keep doing it, and eventually it's going to be something. It just will. It's just you just got to do it. There's no question about it that nobody on this call right now can have a company that can't have a company like this. Now, this company's doing good. They just started. We did 7 months. I worked a lot. We worked a lot. And we did 2.3 million in sales. That's cool. We want to do 10 million in sales. So it's about working hard and bringing in more nurses. The secret to it all if you really want to know the secret, is getting your business running and hiring as many nurses as possible. That's it. And working to get more calls and working on your SEO and working on your back end stuff to what it is. Look at Arizona. We are nonstop working on SEO from Phoenix. It's a here's landing pages that again every course that we have is going to show you how to do this. We're going to really break down everything. I'm not just breaking down modules of backend and LLCs and how to run it and how to start it. I'm going to break down everything from landing pages to what it looks like to pictures to placements. There's going to be stuff that you learn here that you're never going to learn anywhere else because when you pay marketing agencies like us, we just kind of take it and run with it. And you're paying 3,000, 5,000 a month. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this from header one tags to header two tags to finding out like what is a header one tag. You're going to figure it out in this course. So this is all properly optimized where it is and how we do it for obviously Phoenix. It's perfect. It looks great. Here's our bags that we're marketing for. We just keep going down the list and it's just a bunch of information. And here's our review, 1,700 reviews of what we're doing, how our nurses are doing. And it's just here's your frequently asked questions. It just flows correctly into what you need to do. And then obviously, we're part of the Greater Chamber of Phoenix. I would recommend everyone to do something like that. And then the footer is the moneymaker right here. Like we're legit script, HSA, FSA certified, BBB certified. It just we're doctor owned, and when you're doctor owned, you immediately start thinking like, okay, here's our doc. You immediately start thinking, man, this is the real deal. This is a company that I would trust because at the end of the day, you're going off of trust. You're not really going off of, oh, can I get calls? People want to know. People want to know who the hell's coming into their home and sticking them with a needle. Like it's the bottom line. So this is a trustworthy company. You land here, you're thinking, damn, okay, I need an IV. Let's go ahead and book. We're going to teach you all this. I'm going to show you exactly how to build out scheduling. I'm going to show you exactly how to schedule correctly and how this looks. Like this is a, first name, last name, phone number, email, address, and zip code. Confirm the appointment. You have a booked appointment. Now, I'm really getting far ahead of ourselves, but in reality, there's a lot of people that you're going to see and that you're going to, I don't think you're going to just use this course as the only resource. You're going to look at other places and 100% I'm cool with that. The number one thing though that drives me nuts is when I see mobile IV companies build out companies and they're building themselves and they're doing whatever, it's crazy to me. And I'm going to do an example here. This is how you should have your scheduling. First name, last name, phone number, address, done. And then you have someone reach out. Now let's go over to a company that we just are going to start marketing for. Let's go to a company in Chicago. Okay. We're going to book now. And I'm a consumer. All right. I'm a random consumer. Okay. I land on this. I have to pick my package now, and I'm like, okay, I'm hungover, whatever. Okay, I don't know what NAT is. I don't know what B12 is, but I have to physically pick something to go to the next thing. Or I don't know any of this, so let's just continue. You're losing credibility. You're losing confirmations. Okay, now I have to pick. Let me pick the date. Okay, there's another pop up. Oh my goodness, let's go 1:30. I've already clicked 5 times, and now the kicker. I gotta sign up for it. Like I'm not signing up for their stuff. I'm clicking off and I'm going somewhere else. That's how you lose. That's how you lose people. Like that's how you lose a conversion. And again, I will show you guys step by step on all of that. So just heads up for you. Again, going way off topic on the first, mobile IV. It's just there's a lot to it when it comes to it, and I just want you guys to be well aware of it. So, Mal, where are you? I mean, I know you're doing overnight. I commend you. Overnight is crazy. I worked overnight, I think when I was 19 and I hated it. Um, so yeah, I'm never going back to that. But what are you trying to accomplish? Where are you from?
So I'm from Texas. I'm working as a travel nurse. I'm an ER trauma nurse for the past 16 years. So IVs, somebody starts to code in front of me, if meds and other stuff, that's easy for me, right? I even have my checklist on how to set up my little cart, like the crash carts, like needles here, syringes here, tegaderms. I already have my setup or my checklist and stuff. Um, what I do have is I'm a travel nurse, but I'm a 1099 contractor travel nurse.
Got it.
my own company, B52 Staffing, and I have that set up as an S corp, and I'm an employer of my company. So what I did with this new IV hydration thing, I wanted to set it up as uh, I wanted my main company to be like a parent company, but I just did a whole new LLC, just keep everything separate. But I put my nursing um, company as a manager because I'm gonna fund my travel nurse pay is gonna fund this new. Uh,
Perfect.
so having said that, I have a medical director already, and he's a doctor that I used to work with in the emergency room, the director of level one trauma uh, back home, and he's gonna be like my 1099. And that's one of the questions I had. Um, I did as an LLC, not a PLC, because I'm just a registered nurse,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna hire him as my contractor. And I was seeing like the module saying how the money needs to land through the doctor first before it lands through my LLC, and I needed some explanation on that because
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
a
I'm
in my
easy.
company.
Got it. Okay. So CPOM law, this is how we're built. And I think since do you know the guy, like, do you trust him, all that good stuff?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. So what needs to happen so just because it goes off, and I'll triple check with like our structure and how we do it. But what needs to happen is CPOM law states the doctor owns a PLLC, and the money has to flow through the PLLC. And here's your LLC. So the money flows to the PLLC first and then goes to your LLC, like say a fee. But like anything payroll, anything big for the medical team has to come out through the PLLC, and then the rest flows through you. And you have power of attorney over everything. And I know that sounds kind of cliche on that end. I almost want you to try and pivot and not pivot, but I want you to go ahead and reach out to Guardian Medical. Yeah, I'm not the and since it's a school and it's going to be a private school, I'm not the biggest fan of Guardian Medical. I think they do a lot of stuff that isn't really relatively safe to mobile IV companies, and it drives me nuts because you have to obviously be friends with everybody and you have to try and be okay with everybody. But the way that their model is, it's not safe. Like they protect themselves, they're not really protecting the operator. But I would schedule a consultation with them and ask them like, hey, just to get info, because obviously I can't do the legwork for you. Do get some info on Guardian Medical and see and ask them like, hey, don't I need a PLLC to go into my LLC? So, it goes. And if they tell you something different, then you kind of know that which way you really got to go, because sometimes the money can just flow directly to you and then you pay whoever. But I think in Texas being a red state, and he needs to be, obviously he's a doctor, which is great. I believe red state as in it's like a restricted state is what I meant when I say red state. Restricted state, obviously the doctor has to have an MSO agreement in place, something in place. But I'm pretty sure I'll triple check, and I will get back to you today. But I'm pretty sure the safest route would be getting a PLLC. Your doctor gets the PLLC. Your doctor owns it 100%. He opens up a bank account. You put that bank account through Square, what you're going to use. All the money goes to the PLLC, and then once you're done paying, you still have power of attorney. Like you're able to go into that account, you're able to move money around whenever, and whenever it's making money and everything's paid, then you can move money to your LLC, and that's the money that you can pay with for. You can pay marketing, you can pay ads, you can pay whatever you're running for, that's what it is. But I think all the pay and stuff, like say when you get a paycheck, because that's the goal, to get a small paycheck, eventually just gets paid out through the medical company.
Okay, yeah, and then I was talking to an attorney, and she told me uh, I could do an LLC or PLC, but then we do an agreement with the MD, like you said, MSO, MSA
MSO, yep.
deal, so that we're not, the money's coming to the PLC type of deal. But she wanted I haven't heard back from her because she wanted to charge me like 1,500 to set up my entity. But that's, I'm a veteran, I don't even pay to get, in Texas, to set up my own company. So I did that, and she went on vacation. I was waiting for her, and I've been waiting. Like I need to move. Like I need
That's
to.
let's see what this lawyer can do. The lawyer that I have, and like we can find resources and whatever it needs to be. You just need some type of healthcare lawyer that's going to kind of put everything in motion. I know when we did our structure, it cost us like 7 grand. I don't know if it was because it was just ridiculous or we got shafted. I don't know, but I think reasonably, I mean, 1,500. I mean, if someone could do it for 1,000, I'd be happy. But this guy, he reached out to me. He was a lawyer for the firm that closed down, and he says, "Hey, I'll do it for 250 an hour." I was like, "Dude, like you're my best friend." Um, and I'm hoping to just keep referring him out to, because then I'll be like, "Hey, give everybody in this community a deal." Like just I'm giving you a ton of business. Do what you need to do. So I'll definitely get that. I'll
So
definitely get that information.
okay, so that was one of the questions. The other question was, with the good faith exams and everything, and I'm in Texas, and that with that new occurrence with Jennifer's laws and everything that I'm reading, nowhere can I see that the word like faith exam, or that they're required to do telehealth. Um, Actually, well, to me, what's normal in nursing is that we have standing orders from physicians. Patients go to like the clinics or the hospitals with their standing orders, which are good for like a year, um, and the physician never lays eyes on them. And then they get their drips, they get their vitamins, they get their whatever medications, they get their antibiotics, and so that's what I'm used to doing. And I was gonna ask, on the good faith exams, does it have to be a telehealth? Can it be like, we have the standing orders with contraindications? Obviously, if they don't qualify, they don't get the drip. I have no trouble telling somebody no,
Yeah.
uh, because it talks more about ordering, prescribing, administration, but nowhere can I find that we need a telehealth good faith exam. I was under the impression that they read the orders or they review the intake forms before they get the drip, and then the doctor signs off on them before they get the drip.
Yeah, unfortunately, and like I'm right there with you, Mel. I mean, I love standing orders. I'm a business guy. Anything that's going to be cheaper is going to be better for me. Unfortunately, in the state of Texas, it has to be a good faith exam. I have talked to ER docs, I have talked to boards, I have talked to the American IV Association, who we're a part of. We have really dissect everything. I can promise you wholeheartedly, you got to have a good faith exam, and that means a mid-level provider has to sign off on everything right then and there. And I'm going to show you guys an example, which is going to be really cool.
And
Of
that
what
has
we
Sorry, Joe. You
Yep.
need meet exam for every administration, or you just do it once for somebody and you can't redo it again?
It's once per year for one person,
Uh,
but if they change something, say if they want to do a different bag, or say they have blood clots, or say something happened, say something changed within their medical side, you have to do another good faith exam. And that is in
okay,
Arizona, that is in Texas, that is in Florida. It
I
is
see.
it is it is almost everywhere. But I wanted to go ahead and show you guys. The cool thing is I can actually help here for Texas and Arizona. Unfortunately, not Florida yet. So hopefully we get licensing over there. But we're working on it. But for Texas and Arizona, I can actually help you guys with good faith exams. And I can get it probably pretty damn cheap, like cheaper than Guardian, that's $39, cheaper than Qualify, that's $28. I can actually get it in because we built out our own system. So let me go ahead and show you how that works, and we can kind of go from there. First things first, I really want to say it again. I can't stand that we have to have a mid-level provider. I wish we can just go off standing orders. We've always done standing orders. It's been like that for the last 4 years, but a couple years, you have Jennifer's Law, where unfortunately where that happened with that lady, in that spa, which wasn't even a damn medical professional. It was a front desk girl. And then they shit all over the paramedics over there, because the paramedics were running in Texas, which was great. You have some other stuff going on. You have the 8 deaths in Sonora, Mexico, and for some reason it's going backtracked on us, and it's just a lot of stuff that's going on, and people are getting kind of worried about it. But let me show you exactly how we handle our stuff, and I'm going to show one, and obviously I'll blur it when I post it everywhere. But so this is our system. We use, let's see here, and eventually this will be part of the course as well. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see this. Can you guys see my teams?
Yes.
Okay. So right here, Nina. Okay, she's in Utah, one of our nurses. This is called a prove it a treat. SBAR good faith exams. We're more than likely, if you guys get down this road and you have your businesses, and more than likely, I would say 99% of you are gonna have this business because I'm gonna pull tooth and nail to make sure you guys succeed. This is a good faith exam. Okay. So what happens is we have an SBAR right here and we have all their information. Okay. It's like a template. The nurse practitioner on call, which is Kelly, will be asking questions, making sure everything's fine. And she goes through the motion. And this is all, by the way, in real time with the provider in person with the patient. That is the difference between our medical direction. I'm sorry. That's the difference between our good faith exams and everybody else's good faith exams because we don't pre-do them. We don't do it 30 minutes. It doesn't take an hour. We're right there in person no matter what. We have like a 5-minute gap and we do about 100 good faith exams a day right now. So 100% when I say we can do this, we can do it. You have them rechecking, they're doing everything, and then when you see this little emote or whatever you call it, the phone, it means Callie is calling the nurse on scene because that's the law. That's what we have to follow. The nurse practitioner has to call and make a relationship with the client. When they do that, then we can go ahead and stick them with the needle. If we don't do that, we're in a world of hurt. There's going to be so many problems when it comes down to they'll shut down your business. Like truly, like especially Texas. Texas doesn't mess around anymore. Texas used to be one of the most lenient states out there, and then Jennifer's Law happened, and it's one of the most strictest now. Like it's up there with California. Like it's getting ridiculous out there. The reason why I know that too is because we're in Texas. I'm in Odessa, Midland. I'm in El Paso. I'm in Dallas, Austin. I'm all over. But regardless, I love that you're in Texas. You know why? Because there's so much business in Texas. You're not gonna have a problem getting calls. Like it's ridiculous out there. Um, there's so much demand of IVs out there that there's not even enough companies to cover the demand. And one of your biggest companies out there is Lone Star IV Medics. They can't handle the calls. Like truly. Um, but
Yeah, South
that's
Texas.
that's yeah, that's good news. That's great news. And like, we have relationships with them. I know the owners over there. I know, they sold, but we have relationships and it is what it is. But you're gonna have a pretty fun business over there. As soon as you start it up. But unfortunately, good faith exams do have to happen. We do offer them. We do offer good faith exams. We just got a company in down here, Revive. Um, all they do with us is good faith exams, and it's all right here. So that's something we can actually help with. I'm not worried about that. Whenever you get to that route, I would probably put myself in that topic. We can handle your good faith exams and we can do it cheap. We can literally do it and beat anyone's pricing.
Okay,
And the
and then
reason why yeah, go ahead.
with that, is it just going to be the good faith exams? Do I still need a medical director? Like, can this person stay as my medical director for the chart reviews and everything? Or
Yep. Yep.
have,
Our nurse practitioners make sure they're healthy for an IV. That falls on our nurse practitioners. That's their licensing. Like you have some protection there. It doesn't fall on you if somebody states something else. We will give you recommendations. We will give you recommendations on what's it called, on your protocols. I would highly advise taking taking that advice. Our nurse practitioners have been in this field for 10 years, 8 years in mobile IV therapy. They've seen it all. Another freebie in the courses, and it's not even private. These protocols that I have that if you guys have not seen it, let me double check and see if I can just pull it real quick. If you guys have not seen this part, I highly advise you go for it. They were very expensive to put together. We paid for it and we released it. It's under mobile IV therapy protocols. They're free. They're free right here. You literally have standing. I mean, you have orders like ready to go. This is one of the top companies that use. You literally have protocols from one of the top companies in the nation, or one of the fastest growing companies in the nation, because they got into 9 states in 7 months. Like these are legit. These are legitimate, orders that you can obviously review. You can use them. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. I put them out there because I want people to start using it our way. So if you honestly use these, it would be so easy to go in and do medical direction. Do not only medical direction, but obviously good faith exams. We do offer medical direction in certain states. Texas is one of them. Arizona is one of them. Florida is not yet. We're still waiting on licensing. But again, if you have a doctor, keep the doctor. We can handle the NP side, which is GFEs.
And
So
then
it's just
do
good.
you guys do them like Monday through Friday, like 8 to 5, or because I'm
Monday Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
to 10 p.m. Okay, all right.
Yeah, you cannot run. I wouldn't run any more calls after that. When the nurse practitioner is off, that's it. You're done. It's off.
What was the times again?
And Joe,
It's we start at 6 in the morning to 10
Okay.
o'clock at night. Go ahead, Iman.
just a quick question. Is that how you call yourself? I mean, I do remember you said PYV, we are doctor-owned company. Is that how you call yourself doctor-owned because you have a MISO and you have a PLLC owned by a doctor which is connected to MISO? Is that
We're
am I
we're 100
understanding this correctly?
yeah, we're 100% physician owned because we have a PLLC called Pure IV Lane Medical, and that's why we are physician owned. Like that whole company is physician 100% owned. I don't even own it on paper. I own Pure IV Management LLC. That's and like you want to call yourself like that because again, it's a trust factor and it's a marketing factor. All of a sudden, you're coming out. Go ahead.
And that is your MSO, right?
Correct. Well, MSO
Okay.
MSO, and then CPOM going into I'm sorry, CPOM going into an LLC. Yes, with your MSO, correct.
I see.
Yep.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
And then with these good faith exams, what was the thing? You guys, do I follow like my orders, or do you guys have like the SBAR and the intake forms and all that stuff that I'm supposed to be using?
Yeah, which I'm hoping we can. I'm gonna try and get those courses out. I mean, because it's there's so many. It's really weird. I have people that are close on module 1, 2, and 3, and then I have people that are literally like, "Hey, we're ready for the net." I said, "Okay, I got it. I'll try and get it out." We're gonna try and get a lot of examples the way that we do it, so hopefully everyone copies it that way, so then it'd be really easy to do the good faith exams. It wouldn't be a problem, but as long as it's nothing crazy, our nurse practitioners are going to always look at your orders and check and see like, oh, okay, we're good, we can do that. But like, let's say for instance, if you're cool, like let's say your protocol say, okay, we can treat somebody 200 over 100 blood pressure. Well, our nurse practitioners aren't going to approve that. We're going to watch our license. I think the max we go is 180 over 100. So yeah, we're not going to ever do 200 over 100. You're going to be checked out. We're not going to be able to run that call. And remember, you can't run calls without doing GFEs. So you want to protect yourself always.
Because I only have 9 drips, right? Because it's just me and I'm just starting by myself. I only have 9 drips. So if they choose like this drip, then I submit that like to the nurse practitioner, or have your own like standing.
Yeah, you ship it to the nurse practitioner. So like, let's say for instance everything works out, Mal. Like you're ready to go, you're up and running. You're like, "Hey Joe, I really need good faith exams. What can you guys do for me?" Let's call it $20. $20, $25, whatever we land on. It doesn't even matter. Let's put that into the pricing of the bags. And we go ahead and we put you in a channel. It's your company. We have it there. You drop your SBAR and your GFE, whatever that is, into a channel. That's what you do. You drop it into a Microsoft Teams channel, and the nurse practitioner comes in, and then they clear it, and then they call you. That's it. That's how it works.
Okay, so the intake form and the standing.
Yep. We show if you get confused on anything on that end, we show you everything. Like we'll go ahead and we'll show you like, hey, use this format, paste this out. We're not gonna bargain you. We're gonna make sure you know what you're doing. Especially if you're doing good faith exams with us, we'll show you the process of what it is. The first 1 or 2 is gonna be a little but once you see it, you'll be like, okay, now I get it, and then it'll go like clockwork. Every company we have, I think we do good faith exams right now for 14 companies, and that puts us over 100 good faith exams per day. It's gonna eventually get to a point where it'll be very easy. Like once you start doing it, I'll be okay, this is fun. Like I'm not worried about it.
These are like telehealth type of.
Correct. Yep. And then that's another thing too, which is really cool for the NPs, and you guys can make a little bit of money off of it. Our NPs can do telehealth. So like say for instance, they clear them for IVs. What if they're sick? What if they need meds? We can fill those scripts for you.
Okay. And then, as far as we need malpractice and general liability insurance, right? My medical director wanted me to add him as, in one of those. Is the general liability, right? Because he needs to have his own practice.
Correct. It would be his general liability. I don't really remember putting our doctor on general liability, but it doesn't hurt. It shouldn't be a lot of money. You guys need to shop around for that. Your general liability should be, when you're starting, should be probably $1,200 a year, $1,500 a year.
Yeah,
I
with
mean,
the one that you put on the modules, I checked the GMNF or something like that, and that's what it like 1,200 there with adding
yeah,
him.
yep, 100%. And then I put a video in there as well too. Remember, in the courses, take it all with a grain of salt. I put everything in there that could potentially cost you a ton of money. It doesn't mean to do it all. I list everything in there. I have general liability. We pay $14,000 a year, and that's because we make a decent amount of money, and that's all we have. Everyone has their own malpractice. Our doctor has their own policy on their end. We don't cover any of that. Like, it's up to them, to obviously be part of it. We pay a flat fee to our medical director. I think you're paying anywhere from 500 to 1,200 a month. That's standard. If you're paying anything more than that, I would probably shop around.
Okay. Okay. And then you're gonna send us your attorney
Yep.
name and the EMR you guys use. I was
Yep.
looking at the Jane app, but I'm not quite sure about what EMRs.
Please don't do that. No, I mean, yeah, please don't. I swear, if I need to do a separate email to you to show you exactly what to do, I'll do that, because
Yeah.
like I'm telling you, we're gonna get to that point, and you're gonna get structured, and like I would rather fix it first before you jump in and do all that stuff. It's gonna be a pain in the butt. I'm doing this on the part that this is how we did it to get so many people in, and how we kept just bringing people in. So, Jane app, I would rather you have three separate platforms and use one platform that sucks. So, like, for instance, the trifecta would be Square for your payments, Acuity for your scheduling, and then for your EMR it'd be Intake Q, Practice Q, whatever name falls on it. And it may sound daunting and be like, well, that's three things I got to worry about. No, it's very, very simple, and it's all automated together. We'll show you how to do all that.
Okay, they all talk to each other.
Yep.
And then, because I'm gonna
So,
my website.
sorry, Joe. Could you repeat the what you are using, the top three, four stuff that you're using?
Yep. So Square Up, or whatever it's called. Square is for your mobile system. It's very easy to use. It's very cheap. You don't even need to buy a Square reader anymore. You can tap on your phone and you get payments right
Right.
then and there. Your scheduling system, Acuity scheduling, 100%. And then for your EMR system, it would be Intake Q. Now, again, we're building like crazy. So like we've been constantly, me and the partners have been going back and forth. I'm not gonna lie, I can't stand three platforms, but the thing is, it works, and we always want to pick
Mhm.
things that work for the business. Are we trying to build something ourselves? We're already in the final stages of it. Will it be better than all three platforms? Yes. Will it cost as much as them? No. I mean it when I say it. I'm trying to keep pricing all down everywhere. Like, imagine if you had an all-in-one system that kept track of your charting system and your scheduling, and it actually worked on the website, and it actually scheduled correctly and fast, and you could talk to patients through it, and it's like $300. You just saved yourself thousands. You're gonna go that route. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go all in one. But we're trying to make it as easy as possible for everyone, because when I say I really want the industry to grow, I want it to grow. It needs to grow. The only way it's gonna grow is with people like you on this call that are gonna take it, spend 30 minutes, an hour a day, which you're doing right now, and just adapting as much information as possible, and then going and starting these things, because I'm telling you, we haven't even hit the plateau yet. This thing is going to be massive in 4 years, and you're going to hate yourself if you haven't started. So by 2030 it's going to be a different ball game. People are going to be all over the place in this, and people are going to really want to start mobile IV therapy companies, because when you start mobile IV therapy companies, then you can introduce GLPs, peptides, all that good stuff when it comes down to it. So I would start with those three platforms. 100%. That's what you need to do.
Sounds good.
regarding capital, do you think like because we are a little bit short in capital, around like 6,000, I think, is this enough to cover the first steps to start?
First steps to start 6,000. Yeah, I mean, realistically, a mobile IV therapy company starting, and I put numbers on this too. And again, I like to just be thorough, but when I started a mobile IV therapy company, say in Albuquerque, New Mexico, it cost me $5,000. Like that's it. Cost me $5,000 to get up and going. I think if you need all these steps done and everything with insurance and all this stuff, you're probably looking at anywhere from 5,000 up to about 15, 20,000. And that depends as well on who's doing your website, who's understanding that. And that's we run promos all day in Skool. It's actually crazy to me that and it's a win-win for me. But again, we have clients right now that are paying us 15, 20,000. We're mostly lending a hand here, which is great. But I've already had, we already signed up for people for websites to like literally we discounted them because I can't charge. It's so hard for me to charge people that are just starting, $5,000 for a website. It's like, dude, like you guys are working to better. I can't do it, but we also have to pay for our design team to do it. So, regardless, I think our websites right now go for 2,500. The whole thing. I'm talking this level. I am literally talking pure IV level. You guys saw what that was. We're doing that. And it's just because we really want it to succeed, but like you got to have it. That's why it ranges from 5,000 up to 15, 20,000 because you can get the legal down, but who's going to do your website? Who's going to do the bags? Who's going to do the design? Who's going to do the logo? We kind of package all that in one. So when you guys get to that point, there will be a course on it. I'm going to try and teach it as best I possibly can, but I know for a fact people are going to skip that course and they'll be like, "Well, can you just do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can just do it. Here it is," and then someone will figure it out. That's kind of where it comes down. So going back to your question, I would take it in.
It's
I would
more
take it in
it's more the
steps.
legal side. It's more the legal side actually because I work in IT, so
Perfect.
actually the IT stuff I can do all by myself, also website
Beautiful.
and everything. So this is yeah. So it's more the legal side. So this brings me also to the question, when does for example, the medical director fee actually start? So when we sign the contract, does it start from day one, or is it once standing orders workflow are in place, or
It has
when
to
does
start
it
it. Yeah, it has to start as soon as you start it. It has to start as soon as you sign because that's the only way you're going to be able to get medical supplies. Like that's the only way your nurses are going to get medical supplies. So don't sign that agreement with your medical director until the website's done. You're in this process of hiring nurses and you're pushing people through. Then sign. Or no, I
Okay,
take that back.
that's
I take that back completely. No, you're gonna need. I would say you're gonna need a full month because when you start doing it, it takes time to put up the medical director. Some of these places take weeks to get accounts and to get them going. No, I think I would feel safe about saying you got to pay at least 1 month up front of nothing happening just to make sure that they have accounts and everything ready to go. Because then that's gonna shift the problem on your guys' end. You're gonna be delayed, all that good stuff.
okay. Okay, yeah, but that's helpful already. Yeah.
Yep.
Susie, you're
So
doing Florida?
Hmm?
You're doing it in Florida?
Yeah.
I got a nurse for you.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nurse, he works here with me, and we've been working together for like the past 3 years.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
also
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, look, cool.
So,
Yeah. And
sorry, Joe, I have to drop off. I just want to say I really appreciate this. It was nice meeting you all, Susie, Imelda, and I'll definitely be in touch. And it would be great if you can maybe have your contact information that you mentioned earlier,
yep.
so that if you have any questions, that we can reach out. Is that possible?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll put something in here. And like I said, if it's either through the chats or it's through a simple text message, more than I'm a voice memo type guy. You'll probably never catch me on the phone. I apologize. That has nothing to do with you guys. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm
Me
running the
neither.
meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I voice memo all day. So if there's a
Right.
quick question, just know I will get back in touch with you. I'm not gonna let it drop. But give me some time, when it comes down to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah, I'll put you over everything. I'll send you. We're gonna be wrapping up the call anyway. The hour blew
Yeah.
by, so definitely appreciate you guys, taking the time and the effort. And again, take advantage while you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, really appreciate meeting all of you guys here, and being a part of this. And it's only going to get bigger, and we're only going to get to where we need to be. But yeah, I'll drop in all the information. I'll get the lawyer stuff out to you guys, and enjoy the rest of your guys' week.
Thank you again. Bye, guys.
You too.
Again.
Bye.
Thank you.